Wooden by Poet on the Lake. The knock of my heels drove so assertive into the solidest minutes that hugged me close. All that time, it kept me standing and moving straight along. I loved the tap, tap, dip, flippity slap of my toes missing seams in the neat concrete. Everything around me measured up, tall and good and linear. I completely understood, but then wood, where I stood, it will thrust out of odds, old angles, wouldn't it? And shrugged into the perfectly flat, weren't they, walls of my city, wood, with its vacant coronas and nodding green feet. Its waving roots ruined my neat concrete, and its soft, sucking dirt where firm city streets once painted the way. I was lost in the forest. The trees wandered, so the marks I left upon them didn't mean anything for long. I never saw a flower or a rabbit, only the bottoms of my retreating feet ahead of me. A younger ghost that I couldn't chase or catch, a spirit who still believed in the city still shining at the end of the woods, that had turned me into a little wooden girl. Hardlicker at midnight. I caught her in the light of dawn, singing soft lullabies to the cradle of the sun, solitary goddess, commanding acres of yellow wheat, barefoot wild, beckoning a new day with the shining touch of Thea's brushed fingertips. Faithless heathens, pagan, she spoke the old words, brought them to life with nature's breath, yew, marjoram, and sage, millennial grim lore chief, and the darkness in her eyes. The next one is by Alchemist of the Arts. I followed the tracks at the end of the woods, and there I saw her. There she stood, the crone who throws bones, in a raven cloak with heavy hood, whispering words I understood. Incantation, hair and blood, marked with both hearse and suit, till the descent through ground and stood, and there I followed, and sure I should. Old souls called my eternal friend, the crone who throws bones at the wood's end. Here you had a little demonstration of my Old North. Mina Lucania. I visited the old forest near my grandparents' torn-down home. There was a clearing I would always come across. The trees would give way and sunlight flowed down like a shimmering water. I would sit by myself and with a summer green logic believe the clearing was made for me, nature's warm shelter for a lost child in the woods. I could never get past the clearing to venture into the deep. The trees were taller there, the earth was darker. I had no power there. Like any child, I was weak in the dark, but I would try anyway. I wanted to see if at the end of the woods I would find another space made for me, a shelter, a clearing. I never did. I could never wander too far in the dark by myself. But I'm no longer a child with childhood fears, and so this time when I reached the clearing, now lukewarm and plain, I journeyed further into the dark, into spider shadows in morning light. I didn't really make a difference on my skin, not the way I remembered. The trees were tall, but so was I. I had grown, and they had stayed just as they were. It wasn't frightening, but it also wasn't anything much at all. And at last I reached the edge of the woods. There was no other clearing awaiting my triumphant arrival, just a barbed wire fence and a wide barren hall where a dead bird laid. I left the forest and drove home without fear or anguish or weary disappointment, just love for a dead bird, like love for a lost child. Groundless by Where Santa Hat. An old darkened forest, old in despair, my troubled soul conflicts and licks of lust. To taste unknown heavens before this lair, desire fueled against the elders' trust. At the end of the woods beware, they say, affirming always with a storied glare. Would I be wicked without delay, to wonder how the outside world would fare? With prosperous wings could I take a flight, having dreamed of groundless feet I will soar, where boundless opportunities see light. Atop mountains will my echo soon roar, teetering the edge, fearing to remain, flying forward, entering new domain. And then this piece by X Poison Poetry is a longer one, and I will invite you to go and read it fully by yourself on Instagram. Here is an extract. It's about at the end of the woods, daffodils bloom into the winter. Do you know daffodils can feel sorrow? Bloom into the wrong season. The rainbow fooled it. The rain was pouring through it, tasting the rainbow to suck in all its colors. It played an angelic devil card, slowly manipulated itself. Rainbow thought they were friend calming their being when it tagged along. Little did it know, will it ever dawn? The daffodils in the wind are facing a thunderstorm. Aye, winter's farewell to morning dew was quite a fright. You should have seen the lightning struck every daffodil in their lament. Their precious petals faced a murderous intent. Some might feel the summer in harrowing winters. I play in deathly hollows. After all pain, it was you feared the most. All the possible situation that you might get stuck with, until rise from death once again. I'm just trying to find my ideal ending. And for last, here is my own entry and own version of At the End of the Woods. Crimson oblivion, Elysian desires, white moths fluttering, resting on my typewriter, guiding my fingers as I finally reach the moment of truth, the pinnacle of my curse. I'm out of the woods. Hi, now it's time to go back to reality. Open our eyes to the world and accept it as it is, our heart filled with poetry and dreams of ours and others, and finally enjoy the day as it comes. Thank you for listening and hanging out with me by the fire once again. You can find this podcast full and uncut on Spotify, as always. And as for YouTube, please leave a comment below and tell me what you thought of it, or if you have any requests for the next sessions. Or, you know what, even if you have some poets you would like me to look up onto, please just write them down. I was so happy to have you around, and please leave a like, comment, and activate the bell to be sure to be notified. New projects are coming along and I cannot wait to share them with you. Enjoy your day and your evening, and just remember that you always find a soulless place by this fire. My name is J.M. Peterson and I'm a storyteller. Bye-bye.